Hello and welcome back, or welcome if you are new. Today we are in a different space in the house because we are going to try to create a little reading nook for my two youngest kiddos. This is something that I wanted to do probably for like 2 to 3 months now. I've always wanted to have space to have a little reading nook for them, and we've had some kind of variations of it, just little cozy corners, but this time I am going to also try to catalog their books so that we know which books we have on hand. So if we're going to the thrift store or a family is asking what kind of books they would like, I'm not giving them repeat titles. So if that's something you like to see, stay tuned. So today I'm going to try to catalog my kiddos' books, and the way that I'm going to do that is I found an app online, and I will share a screen recording with you as I go through that, and I'm going to see, hopefully this works. I know you can create like an Excel spreadsheet or like a Google Sheets spreadsheet, but I'm not sure that that's the route that I want to go. So I'm going to try this app and see how that works, and hopefully that will be the solution. The thing is if you've seen some of our other videos where we go thrift shopping and things like that, this is one of our favorite ways to find books, especially for my kids who can be a little tough sometimes on books. I'm okay with that because for me, I see them and it just means that they are carrying them around everywhere. They're getting stuffed into backpacks and things like that, so they're being used and loved. If they were just being used up as furniture maybe or something like that, I probably wouldn't be as keen to be buying so many. But since these are being loved on, it's okay with me. So I have various stacks of books around the house. I also have a giant like plastic tote of books both in their room and in the garage. I'm pretty sure we're down to just 2 totes. I don't know, this will be something we figure out together. But as you can imagine, that there's no really rhyme or reason to it right now. And so I'm going to set out today to do that. The first thing I'm going to do, though, is kind of put in their little corner of their room. We purchased a used crib, and I only had my husband set up 3 sides of the crib. I would check if you venture out into this project to make sure that your crib is able to withstand the weight with just 3 sides up, because I want you to be safe and I want your kiddos to be safe. So I'm going to bring that into the room first and see if it fits in here, and then I'm going to start cataloging the books. Okay, so the room I originally wanted to put it in was their bedroom, but my husband built the crib for me per my instructions, so it was my fault, in our spare room, and it's too wide now to get it out the door unless I take it apart again. And I don't want to take it apart because I don't want to do that. I'd rather him be here with me when I do that, but I want to get the project done. So I'm going to get it set up as best as I can here, and then see if they'd rather have it in their room. We can just switch it over. But all I did was, this is the crib. We bought it used, and we just, like I said, didn't put, that's their books. We bought the crib used, which was great because I wasn't quite sure how this project was going to work out. He does still want to put some reinforcement, like maybe a bar here to here. So he's thinking about what he's going to do with that. But I just put an old, we had one crib mattress left, so I put that, or sheet cover left, so I put that on. And then this is just a nice toasty blankie. This is actually a handmade gift from my aunt, so I put that on, and then I believe that blanket also is a handmade gift from the same aunt. So we just put this up, and I will get out of the way so you can see it. I just kind of set up a little, I wanted it to be like a little couch type area for them to just be able to sit and relax and read books. So eventually I would like to have some more cushion on here for them, some more pillows maybe, but for now, this is good. This will do. So look away if just chaos of books turns your tummy, because that's what I have here. So this, as you can see, is kind of where they're storing books for now. This is not ideal for me. I think ideally, of course, I would have like a little bookshelf for them. I don't want anything too big though, because I hesitant with my younger one. I don't want him climbing and things like that, and drilling into the wall. Yeah, I'd have a smaller bookshelf ideally, but we don't have that just yet. It may be something we put on the list, on the wish list, but for now I'm going to make do with what we have, and I'm going to go through these, kind of separate it out, and then figure out how much I want to keep in here. Another option I was thinking of is just having a smaller amount of books at their ready, kind of rotating them. We rotate a little bit, as you know, because we have one in the garage and one here. But what's happening is they're just kind of bringing in more books and none are going out for rotation. So I think my plan is right now, and if you watch any of my other videos, you know that my plan can change. So my plan is to take these out, separate them, make some sort of organization of it, and then the ones that keep a little pile out at the ready for them, and then the ones that we don't have, I think this will fit with the lid right under here, and that will help give this a little bit of support too. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on that front. Okay, so just from that tub, here's what I've kind of pulled out. That was what was in the tub, and actually a couple of books that were in this room. So the way that I have separated it out is this pile here is the Leapfrog book, so he has a little pen and he can press it, and it has games and it reads the book to him, or it gives him the option to kind of like read along. So all those books are there. These are books that came with our Kiwi crate. These are the, this one is if you give a pig a pancake, but if you give a mouse a cookie. I know we have some more hidden around somewhere, so I put them in their own pile. These are some like Bible story books, and then Pete the Cat has his own pile, as does Bernstein Bears. These are kind of storybooks, and then here in these corners, or this kind of triangle, is like the easy readers. These are, there's just a couple here. It's the construction site. That's really cool though. This one's from Usborne, and it has, if you hold the page to the light, it gives you like a hidden picture in there. And then underneath that I have Shapes Reshaped. This we checked out from the library, and I ended up buying it from Thrift Books because it's just such a fun little game book. Such a fun little book. So I oftentimes will use this with school. I will give them different shapes and have them reshape it. So like if you've never seen this book, it gives you a bunch of different shapes and then they reshape into something. So I like to have that, sometimes use that with school or morning activity for them. So that is that pile. These are like the bright and early beginning books, and then he's got like a bunch of these, well not a bunch, he's got quite a couple of the collection books, and he loves those. So we have that in a pile. These are board books, and these are like more cartoony books. So they are like Paw Patrol, Kung Fu Panda, Sesame Street, that kind of books in here. And then these are just like fun books that they read, and then this is books actually I think that go with before 5 in a row and 5 in a row, and then I pulled out a couple of holiday books there. So I'm gonna go search around the house, see if I can find any more books before I start cataloging what's inside. The app I decided to use or try out for this is called Bookshelf, and it allows you to create different bookshelves within the app. And so we've titled one Kids Book Nook, and then I think I have one that's like outside in the garage or something simple like that. As you can see, it also allows you to create a wish list. And then, I added another bookshelf of Christmas books because I wanted to keep that kind of separate. So they have a couple of different ways that you can add in the books. Here, I wanted to try out the scan feature. They have a bulk scan and then they have an individual scan. I found when you use the bulk scan, it's a little bit more difficult to get the books to scan into there, but it's not impossible. You just may want to try some that didn't scan as an individual one. That particular one did not scan, so it gives you an option to put it in manually. And so you can search either by the keyword or the ISBN number, Or there is another option where you can add in the book yourself in case nothing shows up. So here I'm going to add in the little Shopkins book, and then I'm just going to put in the title or parts of the title. I don't remember if I put the whole thing in. And then you'll see in a moment, it gives me a couple of different options of which book. And so I'm just going to choose the title and the cover that looks right and add that into the shelf. And then here on this next clip, I just wanted to show you that you can go into each individual book. So here I'm going to go into this VeggieTales book, and you can rate it. You can mark when you started reading it or finished reading it. You can add different tags to it. So when you're looking for books, you can search by tag. You can add whether or not you've lent or borrowed it out, if it's part of a series, if you need to purchase it, and lots of other things. Here you can add if you have more than one copy, which turns out to come in handy because some of our board books we do have more than one copy. Okay, so for now, this is where I'm gonna leave it. To the side here, I just put a little basket with some extra blankets. These are like some of the smaller baby blankets, and I thought those would be perfect to just kind of cuddle up and read. My youngest already came in here and tried it out. He is really loving it. I thought that he might though, because he is the one that likes to snuggle up and do a good reading. So I have this little crib turned couch set up. Underneath is the extra books that we have here, and I'm super excited because it looks like I'm going to have plenty of room to put the second plastic tote that we have right now in the garage up here, so we can have all the kids' books in one area and they won't have to be in the garage. This little container here is where his Leapfrog books are. They just fit perfectly in here, so if we buy any more, which I'm sure we will because he really enjoys these, I'll have to put them in a separate or put them in one of these totes. But this is just a little carrying case he has for it, and it's got his little pen in there. And I ended up creating another, on the app, I ended up creating another bookshelf just for Leapfrog books. And then for now, I just have this little crate full of books. I would eventually like to get one of those like little six cubby bookshelves for them, so then they would be able to have more books. But I think that this is going to be perfect, working them into it so that they can start to learn to put them back, and then once they get that down, we can expand and have more books out. So I just picked a few books out and put them in here for the littles to read. My oldest son has his own bookshelf in his room, so this is really just for my younger ones. Up on top, I just have some of the Callan books that I didn't bother to catalog because these we don't purchase. These were coming with the boxes, and then these paper ones started coming with them instead. And then we have these super simple, I can read Pinkalicious books for my daughter too, or my son if he wants to take a look at those. So that is it. That's what I'm going to leave it as. I do have more books to catalog, but it's not going to happen today. I have some more books that are in the bookshelf downstairs because we also have a little corner there for them in the office to read. So I'm just kind of creating lots of little areas for them, comfy spaces to read. So there's one upstairs, and now there's one downstairs in the office, and then of course they have their bedrooms. So I like it. It turned out well, I think. I'm not sure, like I said, if we're going to leave it in here or move it into their bedroom, but for now, this will do. Thank you so much for joining me as I cataloged and kind of got this stuff organized. If you have books that you catalog or you have a better system, share it with me. I'd love to know. There's a different way we can be doing this. If you liked this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, and thanks for joining me.